I'm JT, this is American Bravado. This week, October 1st, Catalonia is having a referendum whether or not they should go independent or they should remain part of Spain. I'm going to have all the hard-hitting analysis right after I find where Spain is on the map. The most important thing to know about Spain is that Spain is not a monolithic country. Each region of the country has its own nationality and culture within inside it. For example, you have the Occitans, Navarro, Aragon, Castle, Andorra, just to name a few. But today we're talking about Catalonia. So what are some things you might know about Catalonia? Well, for instance, it's located in the northeastern corner of Spain. You might have remembered the 1992 Summer Olympics there, hosted in Barcelona. Famous painters, Salvador Dali was from there, as well as Pablo Picasso, where he invented Cubism in Barcelona. This human tower here, you know, the one that you try to do in your pool when you're drunk, invented in Catalonia. Perhaps the most famous thing from Catalonia is this FC Barcelona jersey that the guy Brad in your dorm wears after he spent his summer in Europe. Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead. Tell me how a hyperrail system will work in the United States. Oh, you learned that after all 5 times you took public transportation? Oh, yes, they are so much cultured than us in Europe. Thanks, Brad. Thank you. So the question is, if Catalonia is this different culture and they have their own language, why are they a part of Spain? If you guess monarchy, well, you're spot on. And if you think it's a problem, you must be a fan of this show. We have to go back to the 15th century, to modern Spain's founding. You see, how Spain was founded was through a diplomatic marriage between the King of Aragon and the Queen of Castile. Now, there's no reason why this marriage should have existed. It was a political marriage. And in reality, it was just to protect themselves from invasion from France. So why did it happen? Why did it flourish? Well, it's all because of a man we all know and kind of hate, Christopher Columbus. You see, in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue and conquered the New World. Now, he brought back many riches and many trade routes to Spain, and they had dibs on the New World, which meant Spain became filthy rich. And when you're filthy rich, you don't have time to complain about your partner not speaking the same language as you or not sharing the same cultural values as you. No, it's just gonna work. Now, Spain was doing great up until Sir Francis Drake decided to end that when he defeated the Spanish Armada. By 1700, Spain was pretty much out of the empire game. France, England, and the Netherlands entered the market, and it turned out it made way more economic sense to invest in the New World than it did to rape and pillage it. So Spain was broke, Catalonia was broke, and I think they wanted out. Now, this didn't help because of this War of Spanish Succession. When Charles II of Spain died, he didn't have any heirs. So he appointed Philip IV of France to be his successor, but the Catalonians thought they would hedge their bet against the Austrian Charles IV. Now, this 14-year war accumulated in the Battle of Barcelona, which ended in a 14-month siege on September 11th, 1714. The Catalonians lost this battle, and it was literally their 9/11. So Philip IV put sanctions against the Catalonians. He put restrictions on them. Now, at this age, the Industrial Revolution was dawning. So consequently, the Catalonians had to invest in infrastructure, and they began to industrialize more than Spain. So Catalonia and Barcelona became an industrial center for Spain. Now, after these sanctions, it created growing disdain in Spain to the Catalonians. They got a reputation of being takers. Now, this is exactly how a market works. Now, Spain was by and large agricultural. So they would create products, ship it to Catalonia, who would manufacture them and export them for a higher price. Now, of course, they're takers, and again, the Spanish just aren't good at economics. These are the same people who have tomato fights in the streets and let their livestock try to kill them. So let's shoot to the 1930s. Spain and Catalonia still have their problems. And this is an era of the rise of global nationalism. Now, Spain is currently under the rule of dictator Francisco Franco, and he's a fascist in the classical term. Think of the old Roman poem, where a single stick can be broken, but tightly bundled sticks are much harder to break. Now, guys, just so you know, I can break this, but it's for effect. In 1936, the Spanish Civil War occurs, and of course, Catalonia is against the Spanish nationalists, and surprise, they lose. And that means more sanctions against Catalonia. So Franco, in order to keep the country strong and united, suppresses Catalan culture and language, among many other religious movements in the country. Now, this doesn't end until his death in the 70s. So, modern day Catalonia has been moving further and further towards independence ever since the rule of Franco. Now, politicians in the country have been doing this mainly through the use of the language. Schools are only taught in the Catalan language. Official government documents are only in the Catalan language. In fact, it's hard for Spaniards to move into Catalonia and actually interact because of the language divide. They are two separate languages. Now, throughout the past couple of years, similar referendums have been going through, but they haven't been gaining traction like they have been today. Now, why is this? Why is this the case? I want you to think about Catalonia like Texas. Every country has their own Texas. Canada has Quebec, the UK has Scotland, and Spain has Catalonia. So imagine in the United States, you ask someone from New Jersey, do you feel more like you're from New Jersey or from the United States? They'll probably rank the United States higher on their identity list than their state. But you ask somebody from Texas, and it's probably closer to 50-50. Now imagine if Texas started, the official language became John Wayne impressions, and they elected Chuck Norris to be the governor. Well, we would get pretty freaking scared when we started hearing 12-year-olds say, "Remember the Alamo." That's not going in. Now, 10 years ago, if you asked a Catalonian if they identify more as Spanish or Catalan, it was probably 50-50. But today, more Catalans identify with the Catalan identity than ever before, which is adding strength to this referendum. Now, this scares the Spanish government. And the scariest part about this referendum, which the Spanish government has deemed illegal, is that in the Spanish Constitution that they can stop this with military force. Now, nobody can blame the Spanish government for wanting to stop this. Barcelona is a huge European industrial city. It would be the equivalent of lopping off their right arm. And not to mention, it would set a precedent for other states within Spain for their own independence movements. Spain, if they allow this to go through, would most likely cease to exist. So we could get into international politics and constitutional law and the makeup of the European Union, but I don't have the time for that, and frankly, I really don't think you care. But really what this referendum comes down to is whether or not the Catalonians feel more Catalan or more Spanish. It's as simple as that. And as global nationalist movements happen more frequently now, it's a question we have to think about. Just look at the Kurdish independent movement. 92% of Iraqi Kurds wanted to leave Iraq and form their own country. And we'll see what further implications that has in the future. But let's look at the Brexit, for example. Now, according to the Brexit, by and large, most Brits felt that the European Union did not reflect British customs and values, and that Britain should have their own autonomy. Okay, that's fair, but let's say the Scots want to leave, and a Scottish referendum may be happening soon in the future. Would it not be fair by the same argument for the Scottish to leave? And let's say they do. Well, what's stopping, let's say, the village of Betty Hill from leaving Scotland? Because they're Highlanders and the big city Scots can't tell them what to do. Well then, what's stopping Ethan, the one true Scotsman, from leaving that village and starting his own Republic of Ethan? Because no other Scot is as Scottish as him and can tell him what to do. I don't know, you tell me, the world's becoming a crazy place. So I don't know exactly where to end this. I do wish the people of Catalonia and Spain the best. I don't know how this is going to end. I wish I had a better joke to end on. I'll have to work on that next time. But if you did like the material, please like, please comment, and please subscribe. I want to build this channel and I need your help to do those things. So this has been JT. I'll see you next time.